in the game 3 of this series. I do expect for FPX to take away some of the more mobile or safe marksmen away, because if you do take that out, it's going to give Evelyn and Cassidy an easier time to find targets on the other end of the composition.
Huh. This might be an opportunity for FPX as well to ban both the Nautilus and the Alistar away from Langui. If ever they're really going to be focusing on the support here. Langui's so good as a support. But again, EDG has had so much success with him as a support, especially last season as well. Nautilus is one of the two. Will the Alistar be removed here as well? The question.
Yeah, we'll see if it's gonna be the Alistar. Actually, it's EDG who takes away the Alistar. Takes that off the table. We'll do it for you. Come on. We'll give you a gimme. I will give you a free one. Right now, it's still gonna be the support bans here for FPX. I feel like Galio would be a good ban for them. Leona is the choice. Another language champion we have seen before to great success, and now with EDG knowing that there's a big pinch in the support pool, they might just pick up a support for themselves. As I mentioned, Galio would be a good pick here. It allows a bit of safety in the mid parts of the fight. The taunt would also be a good way for them to deter both the Aatrox and the Evelyn. But as we were talking about as well earlier, safe AD carries, safe marksmen are what EDG are looking for, and the Ezreal is definitely one of them.
It's a good choice. It's a great choice coming in from Edward Gaming, because right now, yes, you're going to be giving the Galio up, which is good here for FPX for team fighting. But EDG, Langui can still go with one of his pocket pick champions that he set as a counter engage here against FPX. Plus, securing the Ezreal is just so important, especially because of how effective this champion can be, not only in the laning phase, but especially during the team fights, with one true shot barrage landing onto multiple members of the enemy side team. It's going to be very useful as well. Plus, we have seen this situation already before as well. Without the Severe, teams are still looking into the Sona with the Hecarim, and this is going to be so exciting to see.
Yeah, we're gonna see the Sona in the middle of the team, giving out her auras, giving out her buffs to the whole team of EDG. The scary proposition here is Sona is squishy as a champion. She will be vulnerable to both the Cassidy as well as the Evelyn. One small misstep from Langui here might cost his life, especially when you get into the later parts of this game. But Yang, we're looking at a very different composition for both of these teams, a very different game that we'll be seeing here. Will this be the game that turns it around for FPX? Will they be able to extend this series to at least a game 5, or EDG will able to get their match point to get closer to ending the series?
I think it's going to be tough here for FPX, but this is a good composition that they have built up. EDG did clutch out though in securing a great enchanter support on their side. The Sona shield can be very useful later on to counter the burst of the Evelyn, especially if Shingdao 7 is going to be having a hard time closing the distance on the Sona itself. And EDG has a lot of front lines in their composition. Alone will never be alone here in the team fight.
Yeah, we kind of expect as well in the laning phase, an enchanter support is not necessarily the best support to be roaming around the map, because if you get caught out, you can just immediately get deleted by the other team. But right now, as things stands, we're actually looking at the jungle, where 0711 is actually stealing away the Raptor camp from FPX. This is a smart move right now, because as a Hecarim, we have good clear. I also love the observer work right there. Thank you for showing us that there was no vision, no information that EDG went for that steal.
I think it's going to be expected though as well here by both teams that that's going to be happening, because the Evelyn cannot really fight against the Evelyn, especially at free level 5. It's going to be a not the best choice for Shingdao 7 if ever. And SkyFL did check the Raptors already and does confirm the invade happening there from 0711. Langui gonna be in a bad spot this time around. Exhaust coming through on both sides as well as Alone does splash away. EDG forced out a little bit there, but still is quite healthy.
EDG was forcing the issue on FPX. They were so far ahead in the lane, they were able to shove it earlier, so they wanted to get one of the minions or one of the monsters. They were successful in stealing away or taking away one of the small Krugs away from Shingdao7, so that further puts that Evelyn behind in the matchup against 0711. So expect 0711 to hit level 5 at least one camp or 1.5 camps earlier than the Evelyn, which might be pivotal if 0711 does go for an early gank on the side lane.
Yeah, it puts a little bit of a pressuring choice here for Shingdao7. Either to share some XP here into the mid lane or bottom lane, or maybe in top lane as well, and that's not going to be helpful on the resource-heavy champions that they do have. Aatrox, Kassadin, and Xayah aren't really the champions that you would want to get XP away from as well. Yeah. So I think it's just going to be a patience play here for Shingdao7, accepting that there is going to be a delay on his level 5 and take his time on it as well.
Exactly, right. If you can't fight, just be patient. You'll get there eventually, especially if you're just able to play the game by the book, to be able to get those experience points, to be able to get those gold, to be able to scale into the game. So it's really good to be on EDG. How they make use of that advantage, right? How do they make use of the small openings where the Hecarim might be ahead, the Hecarim will have a bit more experience, and we also saw actually FPX trying to help out Shingdao7. Chao, we saw earlier, was walking in the river, walking ahead to defend the Scuttle Crab to enable this Evelyn to be able to get that. Right now, as things stand, EDG was not able to capitalize too much on the advantage they were able to get by stealing away the camps. But still, with the increased gold on 0711, he might be able to use that to get a bit more better timings on his items to affect the map even more.
Yeah, FPX does have the composition built for late game scaling, even if Shingdao7 is going to be a little bit behind or won't be successful in any sort of ganks. EDG has to still be very careful for teamfights, especially as the game gets longer and longer. We have seen SkyFL be able to dominate already their games, especially during their match against Thundertop, in which he did receive 2 MVP performances as well on the Kassadin itself. Yeah. So let's see how confident FPX can be here in this game with this pick for SkyFL and how they're going to be able to execute this draft too.
Yeah, so far early game has been going very evenly between the two teams. EDG opting for an earlier rotation in the mid lane. We usually see that being started on the 4-minute mark. Well, instead, on the 3-minute mark, they walked their bot lane to the mid lane, allowing the Vladimir to have an easier back timing. But looking at the map right now, the Vladimir is on the top side. EDG might be trying to put more members there, but no, actually, Renekton does go for the recall and is now matching up against a Kassadin. I think this is a good call for the side of EDG because Kassadin is notoriously better at dealing with magic damage champions, and putting the Kassadin in front of him, who deals predominantly mostly physical damage, will give this Kassadin a bit of a harder time in the matchup.
Yeah, just an adjustment being made for a more efficient output here. FPX, let's see what's gonna be their choice. Either contesting EDG with a team fight setup. We do have the evidence to work around. That's a surprise here for the team fight against Edward Gaming. We see SkyFL still lingering in the top side. Scott did get secured by EDG a while ago. So maybe an interest check will be there.
There's a lot of them here.
Xiao Jiang actually committing on the gap there towards Shingdao7, ganking the jump!
Oh!
I could have been able to pick up the kill this time around though. The Ezreal 1v1 against Kong. Xiao Jiang as well gonna be picked up here. A trade for FPX's jungler isn't really the best so far for them to get leverage in an objective securing. But EDG committing onto it already.
Oh, they're committing again!
Gonna be on the backside. Kong forced to use the Predator and the Flash as well just to be able to be safe in this team fight. Still, EDG committing onto the Referral, just confident with the Flash as well. Can they actually get the steal? The asset is low. The Ekton does secure it. But Donovan to 8 committing onto the fight after they did secure the kill on to 0711. And FPX, losing the objective, are now transitioning onto the Dragon.
Yeah, FPX does have their jungler up right now, so they do have the smite advantage on this Dragon. Xiao Zhang uses Dominus earlier. I don't think he has, but they're trying to challenge his Dragon at the moment.
Yeah, Alone is going to be here. Langui as well, trying to get the sustain up here. Donovan to 8, a little bit low in terms of HP. Shingo 7 as well being targeted. The steal is not going to come through. The Dragon still being taken here by FPX. Xiao entering, trying to zone everyone away. Actually, everyone is trying to now be trapped here. It's actually just Shingo 7 getting traded out here. Unfortunate for FPX, but they did get the work done.
Yeah, they did get the work done, but because of that prolonged fight, a lot of members of FPX are backing off. There's no wave clear in the mid lane. With the Herald here, it's only 200 HP left. Actually, they're just right in time to be able to defend this turret. EDG to put more members to secure the turret. It's only 200 HP left though, so it won't be up anytime. It could be taken down by EDG anytime they want to put more resources in the mid lane. But let's go back to everything that happened, because that was a very prolonged fight from both teams. Both teams wanting to challenge the Herald, and just a full commitment by EDG to take down the Evelynn. They were able to take her down, getting first blood, securing them the smite advantage on the Herald, and then they were able to secure the Herald with the smite, although their jungler did fall down. So FPX on the other side of the map had their jungler back up, and they were able to secure the Dragon from there. In the end, though, holistically, it's slightly in favor for EDG because they're able to immediately make use of their Herald, putting it down in the mid lane and putting that turn to about 228 HP, meaning that if EDG wants to put more members there, they can take down that turret anytime.
Yeah, it is a little closer than it is initially as well, so very possible for EDG to actually take the tower down. FPX though doing a really good job defending it as well, especially with the wave clear potential of Isaiah. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for EDG. Now it opens up more opportunities though for FPX to work around the map through the Evelynn pick that they do have. But fortunately for EDG, no setup yet being successful coming in from Jingdao 7. He's trying to though, trying to get a good angle towards you. I think the Vladimir is going to be the best option here to gank. Especially if you do force out the blood pool, then you can still follow up with the last caress. IFL as well is in the vicinity, waiting patiently, trying to bait out any sort of defensive tool here on the Vladimir. It's taking a lot of time. They're being patient still. The commit is going to be there. It's like bait is coming through. This time, the blood pool is going to be initiated. Stingdo 7 forcing the flash. Still alive, but that's a utility spell denied.
Yeah, but also you just really hesitating as well, not fully committing, not using the blood pool to try to get the slow and get that last hit on the Cassid. Instead, he called the bluff essentially, and now actually EDG putting a lot of members here in the mid lane. As we were talking about, they took down the turret there. First turret of the game going in favor of EDG, but going back into playing the bot side, I love how Yo just played around the possibility of having the Evelynn there. Now, actually, Jingdao 7 stayed a little bit longer in the bot side, even though that wasn't a botch gank. But maybe because the monsters in the jungle, the creeps in the jungle weren't back up on the map yet, so he didn't feel like he needed to go back and farm. So probably staying there for quite a bit. But that does give a bit of XP towards him and takes it away from the Cassidin.
And EDG as well, after spotting about here in the bottom lane, had more confidence to push mid lane. That is one of the reasons why they were able to open up at tier 1. Especially because there's no pressure coming in from the Evelynn after them spotting him out in the bottom lane. Plus, since the gank wasn't successful, there's no value on that gank entirely. The summoner spell can still be recovered here after waiting for its cooldown to happen. FPX, again, the pressure is on. EDG has been playing this so cleanly so far.
Yeah, so far they've been doing very cleanly. Jingdao 7 actually really shadowing you right now. Always going wherever the Vladimir is, but we're nearing that part again, Liam. As we talked about the previous game, second dragons, second elemental drakes are what have been really tipping whoever will be getting a huge advantage in the mid game. And it's gonna be less than about 10 seconds for this infernal drake, and both of these teams have been playing it safe, making sure that they have a good opportunity to take down this dragon. Who knows? More that Xiao Zhang getting jumped.
Damage! The Cassidin is gonna be taken down. You actually really good on that damage isolation as well. Xiao Zhang as well, just focusing all of his might onto SkyFL. This time though, Dancing Finale is gonna be invested The heck of him actually is zoning everybody away.
Oh, no, he's down, though.
Getting a little too far forward, and the Aatrox will pick up a kill. This time, FPX still zoned away from the objective. EDG will try to deny Soul Point from FPX. Can still be successful. I don't think there's any interest for Shingo 7 to actually enter the pit, especially because of the sustain of the Sona. They will try though. Chow going in a little bit too late. Shingo 7 as well, having to have this kind of health condition, isn't really in prime position to engage. Product is going to be coming through. Donovan is still continuing on to the fight. They now try to finally get the damage done, but the sustain from Lang is just too massive here, helping the rest of the team be in good health condition. And all of the damage just being negated from the Sona.
Yeah, the Langui is just giving so many buffs to his team, but SkyFL also showing a bit of the burst damage that's about to come from the Kassadin. Didn't convert to anything though in the end. As you mentioned, EDG was able to prevent Soul Point going towards in favor of FPX. EDG having the presence of mind to still take down the Dragon even though they were smiteless. They knew that the Evelyn would take so much risk to try and take the Dragon away from EDG. So good call right there from the side of EDG. Now though, we're hitting the 12-minute mark. Baron is up and FPX still has a lot of openings here. They still have a chance to scale into this game, to have this Kassadin come online and just wreck the members of EDG. But so far, EDG has been playing this game so well, choosing their battles wisely and taking only whatever they need to be able to push themselves forward and get a bit more experience.
Yeah, they're not risking anything. They're not going reckless. They're not doing anything that will cost them much in this game. They're able to deny the Dragon a while ago from FPX, and yeah, Langui is doing a really good job as well on the Sona. I think that we mentioned even earlier that the Nautilus and the Alistar was one of his most impactful champions. This time with the Sona, it is proving to be just more of his capabilities being shown on the side of EDG against FPX. Crucial Barrage coming through towards Sky. Still, it's gonna be fine here, but again, just EDG flexing their muscles basically here in this entire game.
Yeah, they're flexing their strength, but each time they have these like failed ganks, it's an opportunity that goes away from for EDG to be able to secure this game, to snowball it even further for them. And it's a bit of a win for FPX, but they have a Xayah, they have a Kassadin. These two champions scale really well in the late game, and Evelyn, when she gets her items in the late game as well, can just pop the Ezreal and the Sona. Gets in a position SkyFL might get popped.
Yeah, Donovan is in the vicinity, but yeah, that is a thick wall to dash through.
Yeah, he just went away as well, but it's another one of those things, right, where EDG goes for an aggressive play and FPX is just able to bounce away from it, deter any further aggression from EDG. It's another ultimate that was burned. Actually, two ultimates for the side of EDG. Both the True Shock Barrage as well as the Dominus are now down for EDG. And unfortunately for EDG, they still are not able to put FPX in a compromising position to be able to take the win. And that's a win for FPX. We're still waiting on the next big fight, which could be the next Dragon. If both Dragon and Baron are up on the map, we usually see teams fighting on either the Baron or even a possible trade, mind you. So right now, if it's gonna be a trade, obviously Baron is the better choice. And if it's gonna be a trade as well, side lanes are gonna be big. And if the Kassadin is caught on the side lane, that's gonna be pretty bad for FPX.
So far, we do see Sky playing this safely, much more safely now actually, compared to a while ago. Because a while ago he was caught. Don 1-8 actually doing a really good job unlocking a tower in the bottom lane.
Whoa, starting
the Baron. Looks like the pressure is gonna be on once again. FPX has to decide, do they commit, do they try to infiltrate here? Looks like it's gonna be the former, as Chow goes in. Featherstorm is gonna be forced here. Conspel is gonna be flashing away. The Red Sun's timer down is gonna be a little bit low in terms of HP, but Con is still gonna be there. Wow. Still gonna be escaping here from the scene, but the Baron still is up. FPX successful in denying the take by Edward Gaming.
Yeah, EDG wanted to paint FPX in. It felt like it could have been a bad position for Kong, because he was left only when his support was about to fall down. But a great usage of that Featherstorm allowed him to gain distance, to get away, and for FPX to regroup against the EDG lineup, putting a lot of pressure on Xiao Zhang, which also prevented EDG from going in. That almost went badly for any of these teams, but Also, do note what was used in that fight. No flash, no exhaust right now on Desire. She's very vulnerable when she uses her Feather Storm. As we get into this fight, we're gonna see here who gets that advantage, who has tracked the summoners of each member that was burned, because that could be crucial, especially if you don't have flash.
Yeah, crucial spot there as well by Xiao Jiang. It's gonna be fine. Feather Storm should be available this time around now though. For Kong, Dragon chipped away very fast. IFL having a backline access if ever here. Flank position, Shingo 7 as well, going towards the left side. Dragon's gonna be taken here by EDG as the dancing. Finale is gonna be used onto the shadow as well. As Kong is just gonna be infiltrated here onto the backside. Yudo still able to flash away. Shingo 7 trying to track him down as they are just marching onto FPX. Yes, the trade is gonna be there, but still much better for Edward Gaming. And Shingo 7 as well gonna be slowed out by Stuart. Unable to escape. It's just gonna be a marching band here by Edward Gaming, especially with the DJ Sona as they go towards the Baron.
It's gonna be the Baron here for EDG, and what a great series of events for EDG. We're just talking about what are the summoners that are down, what's crucial there in that fight, and we saw Desire getting caught out without both flash and exhaust. Shingdao7 also burning her flash, so the Evelynn wasn't able to flash into the pit to try to go for a steal. SkyFL spotted early on as well by the Renekton, means that EDG had that confidence and information to figure out where these champions are so that they can secure the Dragon as we head into the replay. We're starting off already with the Dragon is down. Kong doesn't have flash and exhaust. Xayah can't get distance away from the Vladimir. That's why he was taken down immediately, and SkyFL just left. Being late into the fight, Sentry tried to go for a flank and he was trying to reposition. He was caught out, not able to do anything. And Shingdao7 just getting exhausted, and unfortunately for him, not having any way to get out of that fight.
Yeah, this one just provides so much movement speed, especially to a Hecarim. Yeah, this time, FPX though still going with the fight. Great use of the ult here of the zone to try and prevent them, and then they retaliate back. The re-engage is just massive on the side of Edward Gaming this time around. The Challenge is going to be disengaging or sees the flash, and again the sustain is just massive from Edward Gaming. Shingo7 going in, getting killed there. At least a trade by FPX. With the Baron card minions this time, they're going to be knocking onto the base here of FPX. Kong has to defend. Shingo7 going towards the mid inhibitor tower. The bottom lane inhibitor tower is going to be taken down as well here by Edward Gaming. And FPX has nowhere to go. They have to defend. They have the wave clear though. Kong still though is taking too much damage. Forced to use the Feather Storm. It is not going to be helping out this time for the wave clear. And EDG, match point in the series. One more game and they're going to be doing what KBG did to them.
Yeah, it could possibly be a clean sweep here for